Hi everybody. Today's presentation is about your mitochondria, what they are and why they are so important for your health. So once upon a time, there was only a primordial soup on planet Earth. It was inhospitable to complex life. In fact, it was inhospitable to any life for a long time. However, Earth's early atmosphere was ruled by microbes. There was no oxygen. Eventually, some did learn how to eat sunlight with chlorophyll, and they very slowly created this oxygen atmosphere. So for millennia, microbe ate microbe, and that was life. That was all of life. One day something happened. One microbe ate another microbe, but it didn't digest it. It actually converted it into a part of itself. And that's how the mitochondria in your body were born. They are not the same as you. They have a different DNA even. And this is just a little picture. This was the original microbe called a eukaryote. And the eukaryote ate another kind of bacterium called a prokaryote. But it didn't digest it and dissolve it. It kept it in itself as a symbiote. And over time, that symbiote lost a bunch of its genetic information and it became dependent on the eukaryote cell. At that point, it was a mitochondrion. And why this is important is because before this process, microbes had a very, very slow rate of making energy, converting sunlight to energy, and how long that would take them. Think about how quickly plants grow. They can grow to a certain extent, but they don't have the same kind of life force or vitality that an animal would have, for example. And it is the mitochondria that allowed animals to be born. The role of the mitochondria, most important, is number one, it's the energy powerhouse of every cell in your body. The more energy your cell needs, the more mitochondria that cell will have. It produces energy for the being. Its cellular energy is called ATP. It maintains glutathione. Glutathione is a very important antioxidant that allows us to live without massive free radical damage that could age us or kill us at a very young age. The mitochondria protects our DNA. It signals cell reproduction. It activates cell death when a cell is overly aged. And it maintains your cell's electrochemical integrity. Your mitochondrial DNA is only from your mother. You get nuclear DNA, who you are, from mother and father. But mitochondrial DNA comes down a single line all the way back in history, a single lineage developed that you take only on your mother's side. Key mitochondrial functions, as I said, number one function is to create energy to fuel life. Simple molecules of nutrition are sent to the mitochondria. They're charged, mixed with oxygen, they create ATP, and this is the energy of human life. It's also called oxidative phosphorylation, which you don't need to know. Mitochondria are one of the building blocks of both your blood and hormones. They help regulate calcium ions in the cell, which keeps your heart beating and keeps you alive. They control muscle contractions, neurotransmitter reactions, and much more. Liver mitochondria detoxify ammonia, which is a natural but very unsafe byproduct of protein metabolism. So in order for your liver to effectively remove ammonia, which will destroy your kidneys if it's not removed, you have to have healthy mitochondria. Important facts. Mitochondria do wear out over time because they continually work for as long as the cell is alive. They never get a break. The reason we have less energy as we age because aging slows mitochondrial repair. So they're not able to work as effectively. So ultimately, our aging process boils down to the health of our mitochondria, even more than the health of our nuclear DNA in our cell. Mitochondrial function is always using oxygen and the creation of this energy called ATP. Because of this, they're continually creating powerful and destructive free radicals, known as reactive oxygen species, or ROS. The body, when healthy, neutralizes these molecules as they are created. But when you're missing key nutrients, the body cannot neutralize these really dangerous free radicals. And this leads to a condition called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is known to be an element in every single degenerative disease that we know of, over 300. If you eliminate oxidative stress, you can often alleviate the symptoms, maybe even all of the symptoms of chronic diseases. What about nutrients? You combat oxidative stress with antioxidants. These are elements, molecules that can neutralize a free radical, potentially even before any cellular damage has occurred. Dietary antioxidants include microminerals, vitamins such as A, C, and E, and whole families of plant nutrients that are powerful antioxidants. These families, some of the more well-known ones, include the bioflavonoids, the catechins, polyphenols, and then all pigments. We also produce innate antioxidants. These are antioxidants we make in our body if and when we have enough of the right micronutrients in our diet. These innate antioxidants are very, very important because they can neutralize free radicals over and over and over again. They include glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and especially a coenzyme known as coenzyme Q10, which is also called ubiquinone or ubiquinol. What's really interesting is that there's a big movement to buy glutathione and buy SOD as isolated supplements. These are something you make if you have the right nutrition. Your body does not do a good job of taking an isolate and turning it into something usable. It is far more effective for you to make your own with the diet that you eat. For mitochondria in particular, however, it's coenzyme Q10 that is absolutely essential to neutralizing the reactive oxygen species radicals that are a byproduct of ATP energy production. In other words, you're creating aging molecules as a byproduct of life itself. The more you exercise, the more free radicals you create. If you run out of Q10, your body is in trouble because your mitochondria is in trouble. And this picture is just to show you how incredibly complex this process is. This is the inside of your mitochondria. This is the process of creating coenzyme Q10. And right now, NAD is a very popular isolated supplement to buy. Lots of claims about it. If you have social media, you'll see them. But if you notice, it's like a side thing to the rest of this phenomenally complex system, the end result of which is energy, the center of which is coenzyme Q10. In a healthy body, you will cycle from NADH to ATP hundreds, if not thousands of times a second. And it is dependent on nutrients. Insufficient Q10 is a hallmark of aging, decline in energy metabolism, but not just your energy, but energy in your tissues, your liver tissues, your heart tissues, your skeletal muscle. Liver without enough Q10 begins to not be able to detoxify ammonia. When that happens, your body creates extra cholesterol. High cholesterol is rarely a problem of needing to reduce the cholesterol. It is a symptom of a liver that doesn't have enough coenzyme Q10 or other nutrients to do its job. Heart disease, 100% of the time, people who are tested for coenzyme Q10 who have active heart disease are critically low in this specific nutrient. 100% of the time that this has been tested. Skeletal muscle, when you cramp, when you get muscle cramps after heavy exercise, that is actually your muscle cells needing more energy and if you run out of Q10, your muscles create a different type of energy. I'm going to go back, a different type of energy that the side effect is lactic acid. So tissue concentrations of coenzyme Q10 decline with age. So that's why we have less energy as we age. Decreased plasma concentrations are observed in people with diabetes, type 2 diabetes in particular, cancer, and congestive heart failure. Statins will reduce Q10 dramatically. So what you're taking for your high cholesterol actually worsens the issue. And pretty much medical science is confirming that. How chlorophyll helps. So the Journal of Cell Science discovered that humans have the potential to convert light directly into energy, like a plant. The way is that it works is that it modulates your ATP by actually capturing sunlight through chlorophyll and transferring the chlorophyll energy to reduce the coenzyme Q10 to its active biological form, which is called ubiquinol. So we can actually use the green plants we eat to create energy like plants do. I just love that little factoid. And then this is just a little chlorophyll graphic. Other important micronutrients for your mitochondria and for the production of coenzyme Q10 are minerals, in particular zinc, magnesium, and manganese, but there are 17 that are involved in the complex chemical processes and that are a part of the ATP production. You need the amino acids phenylalanine and tyrosine, and then you need B1, B2, B3, B5, and B6. These are absolutely have to be present for the many different steps in the COQ10 cycle. You miss any of these, you are not going to create Q10 as effectively, and your mitochondria will not produce energy as effectively. So the bottom line is eat the rainbow. Eat the chlorophyll to directly support the production of energy. Bioflavonoids, anthocyanins, and phycocyanin in blue-green algae. All of these pigments are rich in the vitamins, they're rich in antioxidants, and they're rich in the supportive minerals that help your mitochondria in its energy production capacity. So the top 10 benefits of Q10: combats headaches, supports healthy vision, reduces aches and pains, can increase libido and fertility, boosts energy and stamina, enhances cognitive function, improves oral health, this is a big one, balances your mood, improves cardiovascular function, and promotes smooth, healthful skin. And even at very, very high doses, thousands of milligrams a day, there have been no reported actual side effects to the use of coenzyme Q10. It is truly a nutrient. It is not a drug, although these benefits are phenomenal. Types of Q10. There's decades of research proving its importance in the heart health, brain health, circulatory health. But there's two main forms, ubiquinone and ubiquinol. Ubiquinol is the reduced or the active version. This is the one that we use in creating ATP. They're the same molecule, but they're slightly different. The reduced version has 2 more electrons. It doesn't matter. You can eat ubiquinone and turn it into ubiquinol if you have the right other nutrients and if you're healthy. This conversion will occur millions of times a second. So really understand ubiquinone, ubiquinol. Ubiquinol is known to be slightly more beneficial if you have a chronic disease, but both of these go back and forth millions of times a second. It's not the type that you eat as far as it is ubiquinone or is it ubiquinol. It is, do you have the right minerals and other nutrients you need? And more importantly, are you eating the right kind of Q10? And by this, I mean Coneca. This is a manufacturer. There are several different brands that use Coneca. It is what New Earth uses. These are some of the strongest lipid-soluble antioxidants available. Coneca has proven to be up to 5 times more effective in increasing your blood serum levels of Q10 compared to any other form of Q10. Q10 can be biofermented, which is what Coneca does, and they own the patent on that. Cheaper forms of Q10 include Q10 that is completely synthetic, which in my opinion is worthless. And then the second kind of Q10 is actually a byproduct of the tobacco industry, which I also don't want. So when I advise people, I really encourage them to look at the label of whatever product they're using. Make sure it says made with Coneca. I do like ubiquinol, even though ubiquinone is certainly adequate. Ubiquinol is the gold standard, and Coneca is the only source of ubiquinol that is stable enough to be useful when you eat it. I really encourage people, if you're going to use coenzyme Q10, to at the very least also add blue-green algae to your diet, because you need those B vitamins